And then obviously, as y'all know, right now you have empty U.S. congressional districts. So I'm not aware of anybody that's here from what we've been Tony Gonzalez's office, but they've been involved in this prior to his leaving office. So again, I want to welcome a couple of guests that we have. So purpose for today's session is very simple. This is designed specifically to give you as producers, as landowners, really good practical information. You can go home and start understanding how to deal with the threat of New World Screwworm. Obviously, it's a very emotional, it's a very complex topic. New World Screwworm is a World Organization for Animal Health Reportable Animal Disease, which means with that, there's a lot of things that come with that as livestock producers and wildlife owners, probably is not a lot of fun. But we want to provide really good answers today to some of these complex problems. We also, in the same breath, want to make sure that we're asking some straightforward questions. We've got a list of questions and some items we want to go through that came from y'all. And we're going to ask those questions, and we're hoping to get very good answers. We do have, I believe they're in the back on your way out, there'll be a handout that deals with the drugs that can be used for New World Screwworm. I'd encourage you to grab a copy of that on the way out. And also, if you're looking for CEUs, I believe there's a sign-in sheet in the back. If you did not sign in, please sign in, and we were told that these certificates would be ready for you when you left. Okay, so with that as ground rules, we'll go ahead and get started. I want to invite our panelists up here this morning, and I'll let them introduce and say a few words about themselves. We have T.R. Lancer from Texas A&M Health Commission, we have Alan Kane from Texas Parks and Wildlife, and we have State Representative Don McLaughlin. USDA had committed to send their admiral here. There's a gentleman named Admiral Michael Schmoyer who's leading the New World Screwworm Directorate. He's been integrally involved in the response and is really their point person on everything related to screwworm response. He had committed to this meeting last week. We're on calls every single day. Yesterday, he was told in no uncertain terms, you will be in D.C. today. So it's 9:15 right now. There's a Senate Ag Committee hearing in D.C. that Secretary Rollins is speaking at, and our understanding is she wanted him at that meeting. So unfortunately, there's nobody here from USDA today, and I apologize for that. It was something that certainly was unavoidable on their part. He will actually be back here in the area tomorrow. And I would just encourage you, if you have anything specific for USDA, Animal Health Commission is certainly prepared to speak on their behalf. I hope y'all are enjoying being blinded. That's going to be a lot of fun for the next hour and a half. Yes, sir. So with that, what we'd like to do is have each of the speakers just introduce themselves just real quickly and make any introductory comments that they'd like to make, and then we'll work into the situational update and start working with the program. So gentlemen, there's two mics there. Mr. Kane, would you like to start, or Mrs. McLaughlin?
Good morning. I'm glad to see everybody here this morning. I'm sorry to hear for the situation that we're here. Like I said, as he said, we've got a serious problem here. The cattle, we can round them up and we can treat them, and that's still cost and it's still a pain. But the wildlife is something we're going to have to look at. You're going to see pictures. Like he said, some pictures are floating around already of deer. There's no question they're here. But the biggest thing that I want to stress, we have a limited number of lives. And if you report a case, we can't get by with dropping the area. That's the biggest thing we've got to do. Stop reporting will be worse
Again, very layman's terms, switches that ratio so that when you're producing 100 million flies, it's 100 million sterile male flies, in theory. And so that plant is intended to come online this month. They will have to build a brood. They've got to do a lot of things to get that going, but they're fast tracking that as best they can. So hopefully by Thanksgiving, you in theory have 100 million flies coming out of Panama, plus another 100 million that are, again, 100% male, potentially coming out of Mexico. That essentially gives you 150 million sterile male flies per week. And then there's Secretary, of course, broke ground a month or two ago on a facility down in Edinburgh to have a U.S.-based facility. And what they've done there is they've prioritized that to where you have a portion of that they're trying to expedite and get the first 100 million basically fast track, and then an additional 200 million will come over time. So.
Yeah. Mhm.
Right.